Been some big updates in the Luigi Mangione case. He went to court this morning and did his plea, and his lawyer made some very good points and called out the mayor of New York City. So we need to discuss. In this video, we're also going to take a look at some discrepancies of a timeline in the official FBI court documentation. We're going to take a look at it from the Google Maps itself and see if these timelines match up, because from what I'm seeing, we may have a way to prove that Luigi Mangione is innocent. Now, with that being said, there are a bunch of different opinions on whether he is innocent or whether he is not, or whether we need more information to be able to decide that. So please leave it in your comments. What do you think? Is he innocent, guilty, or do you have another opinion? We can discuss down there. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to try my best to answer them. Hit that subscribe button so you miss all the news and all the updates. Let's get started. Now, Luigi did plead not guilty in court this morning around 9:30 a.m. And if I do say so myself, his lawyer did a fantastic job with already bringing up things that are unconstitutional and reasons why he is not going to have a fair trial, which make a lot of sense. And I will play that clip for you in just a second. But first, let's talk about it, and then I'll play you that clip. So the first thing his lawyer brought up was the fact that she is concerned that her client is going to have a fair trial after being a throng of heavily armed NYPD and FBI agents escorted the accused unaliver from the helicopter in a highly choreographed scene en route to his first arraignment last week. She's concerned that that whole big show and choreographed scene, and I'll put the picture here, is going to cause some already telling, whether he's guilty or not guilty based on just the way they're treating him on potential jurors. She said, "I'm concerned about my client's right to a fair trial. He is being prejudged by these statements, and no safeguards are in place." She also says he's a young man being treated like a human ping pong ball. She also goes in and is calling this perp walk staged and unconstitutional. She said, "It's the biggest perp walk I've ever seen. What was the New York mayor even doing there? These staged perp walks are unconstitutional. The mayor should know about due process. Given his own problems, I think he was there to try to take away from those issues. He wanted to show symbolism, but my client is not a symbol." Now, some people on my TikTok page said that he technically is a symbol, and a symbol for wanting better laws and better things in place for healthcare, and this is the start of that. Ever since he did do this, or potentially allegedly committed this crime, there have been things that are changing in the healthcare system. So honestly, it is doing what he wanted it to do in a way, if that makes sense. But let me know in the comments if you think he is a symbol for something, or if she's right and he is not a symbol, he is a human being. Whether that's a symbol for healthcare or whether that's a symbol for what is right in the law, you can be the decider of that. I'm going to play you what she had to say. It's about 5 minutes, and then we are going to discuss the potential discrepancies in the official FBI documentation that you can find over on my IG.
I'd like to make a record, if that's okay with Your Honor. First, we'd request immediate expedited discovery in this case. The people have had this case for about almost 3 weeks, and that's more than enough time to gather as much information as they can give to us, especially now that we have two proceedings that we have to answer to, one of them being death eligible. So we are requesting that we get immediate discovery of the New York City Police Department and FBI and federal and state documents. And the second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he's entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial. But none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows, under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone about the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione, and there are consequences to this. He has a right to a fair trial, and I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example, and he said, "I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love." And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected him, that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, I could be looking at this completely wrong, and you can let me know in the comments what you think. But let's take a look at this from my point of view and my perspective. Now, it says here, if I'm close to it, so because I can't really read it very well, it says at approximately 5:35, he left his hostel wearing the backpack and used an electric bike down Central Park West to a location near the Midtown Hotel. Now, down here it says he arrived at approximately 5:41. That is a total of 6 minutes to get from Central West Central Park to Midtown. I have the map. I'm going to show it to you because there is physically no way that a person with a hurt back, even on an electric bike, would be able to find the electric bike and get on it and ride to there in a total of 6 minutes. Now, this right here is allegedly where the hostel is at, near the West Central Park, up in this area right here. Now, this is if you drive a car, which is going to be faster than an electric bike. This says that it's going to take you 20 minutes here or 28 minutes the long way. Now, it is like midday, so, I mean, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's say 20 minutes, 18 minutes right here. That is still way longer than a total of 6 minutes. Now, this is allegedly where the address of the hotel that the CO is staying at, that he went to, was at. So 6 minutes to get from here to here, and this is driving. To walk, it is going to take you over an hour, even taking the shortcut through Central Park. Now, here we look at the bike estimated time. Any way you look at it, is going to be at least 23 minutes on a normal bike. Now, he was on an electric bike, but let's say cut that in half. That's still 11 to 12 minutes. That is still double the amount of time that the court document says it took him to get from up here where his hostel is at to down here where the Hilton Midtown Hotel was at, if these addresses are indeed correct. But still, if they're not exactly correct, it is still an approximation because it was West Central Park and then down here in Midtown. So still, he had to go all the way through Central Park, and I don't know anyone that can get through Central Park in a total of 6 minutes. I have been there, and there is just no possible way unless you are an Olympic athlete, which he obviously was not with his hurt back. People also point out the fact that they literally made him look like a superhero in this staged perp walk, and that they are charging him with terrorism even though he unalived one CEO. And the people that have a lot of issue with this is that even people that do school unalivings that kill multiple people, including children, are not charged with terrorism. And so they're wondering why this man is being charged with that when others that have done what they feel is a higher crime have never been charged with such a high stake crime, which is a lot of people are arguing back and forth in the comment sections of my TikTok videos because of that reason there. So you can let me know what you think about that in the comments. That is all I have for you for now. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as soon as we have any updates on this case and cases to come. I'll be sure to let you know, and you're not going to miss it. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button. I will see you next time. Bye.